Hello everyone, today I am looking at Touhou 6, aka the embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. This game, I'm not really a huge Touhou fan, but I know this was super huge back in the day. Lots of people were really into it, and it was just one of these bullet hell games that was just super hard to play, and yeah, definitely not my kind of game. I was able to get through most of the game, but I definitely was not able to get to the final boss. Hey guys, today I'm looking at Touhou 6, aka the embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. It's really funny. I find that I really wonder how many Touhou fans have actually played the games and how many people just like the characters, because these games are really freaking hard. Like, I played it originally back in the day, and I thought, oh, okay, this is kind of neat, a bullet hell game that's super difficult with really amazing hand-drawn art. But I never really got into the whole Touhou fandom, all the Touhou posting. And I feel like Touhou is like just this unstoppable force of like fandom of like the East that refuses to die, even like decades or years later. But again, I wonder how many people have actually played the Touhou games. So what is the story of Scarlet Devil? Well, essentially you can play as two characters, Reimu or Marisa. Reimu is a shrine maiden that is destined to defeat yokai, which are essentially bad or evil spirits. And Marisa is kind of like a Western witch with the same goal. And essentially you go up against Flandre and a bunch of other kind of, vampire-themed Touhous that are essentially these evil spirits, and so you basically just have to fight them, and they have this quirky, weird dialogue, and you just gotta blow them out of the sky. There's nothing else to do about it. Touhou is an interesting game in that, usually there are so many bullets on screen that, like the classic 2D, shooter games like Galaga, you are really not focusing at all on if you're shooting at the enemy. You're focusing on if you're dodging the bullets or not, because again, there are just so many, too many possible attacks and so many possible ways to die and get killed that you're just barely dodging every single projectile and just focusing on staying alive, then shooting at your target. And that's the main difference between Touhou and other games I've played of this genre. Also, you do have little mobs you fight. It's not just all boss fights, and as you go through the levels, of course, the difficulty increases, and you have new levels, enemies to fight, and different behaviors. Also, each character has kind of an ultimate blast. Marisa has Master Spark, for example, and so it's this kind of ultimate attack that allows you to essentially destroy everything on screen and is able to dispel all of the bullets coming towards you. So if you see a bunch of bullets and you think, okay, there's no way I can dodge this, that's when you activate it, and it does a ton of damage to the enemy, and you also get to keep. But obviously, I am not very good at this game. I feel like a lot of people back in the day, they basically played this and grinded and got really good at this game, and then became permanently married to the IP, I guess. And that's kind of, where the Touhou mentality comes from. They're just like Touhou nuts that just, from the pain of playing this game, they have become Stockholmed to it, essentially. Speaking about the IP itself, it's really interesting that this game was very popular and worthwhile because the creator Zun is basically one guy. So this is like a very traditional, like classic indie game, and he would basically go to anime cons and sell his game there on like a PC CD for people to buy. And the other thing that also makes Touhou very popular is it just doesn't have this soul kind of indie experience, but it's also the fact that the music is really phenomenal and fantastic in this game, and the Touhou community that makes the music for these games is really great. It's funny though, even though you probably aren't aware of Touhou or even played the games, I'm pretty sure everyone knows songs like Bad Apple, Cerno's Math Class. They're just a cultural force, regardless of whether or not you've actually played the games, which I think is so funny. It's like the games are like a secondary part to being a Touhou fan. It's like, do you have a Fumo and do you post it online like a cat? And that's kind of like the main qualifier. But yeah, it's not surprising to me that a lot of people don't know Toho because of the games, because my god, they are ridiculously difficult, and the art and productions that came out of it are more so interesting than this actual bullet hell game. Like, this really puts the hell back in the bullet hell genre. I mean, really kind of invented it, I think. I still love Toho, and I do love the characters, but again, some of them just feel flat to me, and when I try to get back into it and look at the fandom, like, there's now like 20 billion Toho. It's like 3 Pokemon generations, and I'm like, who's this person? Who's this person? I don't know. I guess I actually have to play the games, or more likely read a manga or something. So I do feel there's this kind of like cultural barrier to getting into Toho that I just don't really quite understand what it is or what it has become. And I'm kind of fine with that, because I'm not dying to know who these fairies are. But yeah, I love Cerno. I love Ramu. I think Marissa is probably my favorite. Another good one I really like is Koishi. And yeah, I'm also aware that there are other Toho spin-off games. Like, I've tried a couple of like the 3D fighting ones, which are like really not good, at least the ones that I've tried. But yeah, this is a very strange series / phenomena, and it's just it's pretty cool. You know, each of these characters also has like 2 lines of dialogue, so it's amazing how fans have created all this lore and whatever around them. Toho is a kind of autism that imposes upon itself. It is its own beast, and that is totally fine with me. Anyway, guys, I guess I just want to talk about the actual Toho games, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.